My girls keep on sending me messages. Just sending it to you. Is Manya here?
Okay, friends. I'm so okay, our mic is not working, but
She is my partner also.
friends, I'm sorry, but we start with this panel, so I'm gonna have to ask you to step out so we can speak for the next presentation.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm 21 years old, and I was being like, you don't have to work.
Okay, so we're going to, in the interest of time, go ahead and get started. And I'd like to introduce our next two speakers, who are Yukiko Pato and Manya Jha. And so please welcome them warmly.
It's okay. Good evening, ladies and ladies and ladies and ladies and gentlemen. Today we will talk about entrepreneurship. I am Yukiko Kato from Japan and with Manya from India. The first, Manya will quickly talk about her experience of her venture business. And maybe she will talk about the very positive side of entrepreneurship. Then I will talk about the dark side of entrepreneurship with lots of my failure. So,
Thank you, Yukiko. So I'll be starting first and then thank you for having me here, and we are only like 5 minutes. So, am I audible? Yes. I'm the founder of, like my entrepreneurial journey has been only 2 years, and I'm the founder. It seems the recording. Okay, so my entrepreneurial years, and when I met some of you earlier, and I was feeling that am I really eligible to talk about entrepreneurship in front of you? But then you all left up on it. So I'm a founder of a company called Morphedo, and it's a 3D printing online business where we connect 3D printers and 3D designers from across the globe. And we have a vision of democratizing manufacturing by making it a local phenomenon. Before I talk about my experience as an entrepreneur, as a tech entrepreneur, I would like to take some time and talk about a very important element of entrepreneurship. And when we talk about, so before you can become anyone, you first need to become yourself. You first need to be you. So you need to ask yourself who you are. You need to understand your likes, your dislikes, what drives you, who you want to become. And why is it important to understand these? Because these are the essential elements, or you can say these are the essential ingredients of an element called passion, which is the most important driver of entrepreneurship. So yeah, so that's the thing. And we have a serial entrepreneur over here. She's had started 5 business. One day I would like to be like you. I would like to be a serial entrepreneur. So there's one thing that I believe. I would like to draw your attention to a graph of lifeline. So we have that lifeline. Most of us would have seen that the graph. It goes up and down, up and down, up and down. And till the time it's up and down and it has that discontinuity, we are alive. The moment it goes, straight, the person is dead. So when I question myself, like, how is my everyday life? What is my everyday graph like? So I just related it to that graph, and it seems like every day of an entrepreneur's life is like that graph. We have highs, lows, uncertainty, too many of them, but every single day. But yes, we overcome and we keep moving ahead. Many of the people, when I meet entrepreneurs, especially student entrepreneurs or people aspiring to be entrepreneurs, they have this question: when is the right time to start? So from my understanding, when you have the answers to that question, who are you, what you want, and all those things, you are the correct person to define when is the right time for you to start. And when you have that, when you know that you are ready to take that plunge, you have your dream all set, you need to start right away. That's my perspective. So according to me, if you are an entrepreneur, you are living. If you are living, you are an entrepreneur, because that's what life is like. It throws challenges at you, you keep moving ahead and all that. I started my business as a student entrepreneur, and and it did not happen accidentally. I had planned it like 10 years back when I was in my graduation, and then I was not certain about what venture would I start. I was not certain about where the money would come from, what would happen, and nothing. The only thing I was certain about is I want that. I want to be an entrepreneur there. So that's what I kept following. I did all possible means to carve out that path, and I'm here, right in front of you, living the life of my dreams and striving to move ahead. So there's one thing. When you're an entrepreneur, you need to make things happen. And for us ladies, it becomes more difficult in our society when we are proving ourselves. So, as an entrepreneur, I have thinking that, and I have believed that you need to be very thick-skinned. You need to learn to say no. You need to learn to say no to your customers. You need to know where to move in. When not to move in, sometimes you need to say no to an investor you don't like. Sometimes it's so many no's. But do not be afraid. You have to, you have to say that no. For us ladies, we have to voice our opinions. Whether you're a solopreneur, you're having your business alone, or you're with your friends, or people out there, you need to make sure that every time you're on the table, you have the seat, your opinions are heard, your opinions matter, and those things. To become successful as an entrepreneur, you need that daily dose of motivation. To get up from bed, we know how tough our days are. So to get up every day, to go back there, you really need a lot of self-motivation. And I would say, and another important part, one element that you need to be successful as an entrepreneur is self-learning, the capability to teach yourself again and again and again, and keep yourself updated.
We can hear you beautifully without the microphone. You're wonderful. Let's just switch it off.
Okay. Maybe I'll use it.
Probably switch it off, so it doesn't make any. Yes.
So that's what I was saying. To be an entrepreneur, you need to actually make things happen for you. Whether things are working or not, you need to make sure that you go your way. So as an entrepreneur, from my experience, there have been times where I have been okay, this happened to me because you can't even is it all right? It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Go on, like you
Please,
want.
I think it's okay. Maybe I can move it. So yeah, I was talking about me being a tech entrepreneur, and sometimes there have been questions where I have felt that this happened to me because I was a lady out there, or did this happen to me because I was a lady in tech. And maybe these are perceptions. Maybe I'm wrong. I was not, or I don't know what happened. But then I would like to quote a few situations. I started as a student entrepreneur, and I happened to go to a professor with my idea, and that's what he was a very senior professor. He's a very senior professor, and that was the first time I was listening to the technology, like we're into 3D printing. So he was listening about 3D printing. To see a gentleman and a lady along with him. And I was very happily explaining my concept, my business, everything to him, and he says, he seemed to be, understanding that and amazed. And then he was like, so where is your boss? That made me, and I was like, okay. Then I said, okay, yeah, I'm the founder. And he says, and he gave me a look. And then that thing passed away. But then when I went back home, I was thinking this has happened to me because, because he thinks that a lady can only be a, sales, thing, or maybe I don't know what. That question still haunts me. But then maybe it happens to us all. And then there have been few circumstances where I was there with some investors and some local people who like the business. And then I had noticed that people were very interested, and then they were interested because maybe they were thinking that there's a lady out there, and she could be, manipulated, or she could be easily, things like that. And then that scares a little, but then that also motivates you, But then that leaves that question in your does this happen to me because I'm a lady in tech, or does this happen to me because I'm a lady? But things are changing. Maybe we are creating a good ecosystem for ourselves, and probably you're all helping us. Yeah, I would just conclude, and to conclude, I would say that yes, failures do happen to us, and we learn from our failures. We keep going, and it's a salute to all ladies out there who have decided to carve their own path and not go the traditional way. And may God give us more power to us all. Thank you. I will hand it on over to Yukiko. She's been, we met and talked for last hour, and I have learned a lot from her in this 1 hour. She has been a 5-time entrepreneur, and she's successfully managing a lot of business. I hope we have a lot to learn.
Thank you very much, Manya. Yeah, actually, I don't have much, a lot of things to, give you. You are already mature as an entrepreneur. And as I told you, Manya talked about, how to be an entrepreneur at first, when and how. And I will talk about how to survive. That's after you establish a company. And because, to continue and to survive is not always easy. And I will talk about my, history, my stories from the past. Yeah, this is my story, my history. Until 2002, I used to be the director and chief operating officer in international corporations. And my background is retail, and especially luxury sector. I was chief operating officer of Fendi Japan. Fendi, you know Fendi, Italian brand. Maybe I used to be very successful career woman working, but one day a very new idea came to my mind, because in big corporations